What's up, everyone? Kevin Allen here, aka the Geek from DFS Army, and we're taking a look back, not forward, but back at NFL Week 5. We're going to review DraftKings Cash Game, DraftKings Milly Maker winner, some of the content we put out that sort of led to some of this stuff. So, without further ado, this is your NFL Week 5 Week in Review. All right, let's get right into it. Looking back at NFL Week 5, and the first thing I always like to take a look at is my cash lineup, what I used in cash, how I got to it, and how you could have got to it, how you could have done better. And I will be honest, I have a little bit of regrets on my cash lineup this week. So this is the lineup I used in cash games, and I'll show it in a lineup where I won because it's more fun to win here. But I wound up scoring a 165.94. This was one of the top optimals that our optimizer, the Domination Station, tossed out there. And actually, it wasn't the top optimal that was available to us. I made a little bit of what I'm going to call an unfortunate decision here. And really what it came down to was Curtis Samuel. I kind of was wanting to get him in a lineup, but there was a lot of room here in this approach to actually pay down on defense, pay down here at tight end, and get all the way up to a much more elite type of wide receiver than Curtis Samuel, although I might have ended up doing that with Lockett and losing out. So in the end of the day, how did I arrive to this? Let's take a look at the DFS Army chalkboard for NFL Week 5. And this is the most important tool that we have to help you craft a cash lineup. So again, if you're not subscribed to DFS Army, try to find ownership projections somewhere else. Good luck with that. But as far as cash games, we want to use the highest owned player. So, of course, at quarterback, we had a choice between Tom Brady and Josh Allen, who were each projecting around the same ownership. And obviously, they were, to me, the best plays on the slate this weekend. Josh Allen ends up smashing. Tom Brady, I thought, had a floor game and still did pretty well. I stand by my love of Tom Brady this past week, even though it didn't come true and he didn't win us tournaments. He certainly produced 4x his salary and had a floor game, had like the worst game that he could possibly have because Fournette took all the touchdowns. So, but, the ownership projections were pointing to either Brady or Josh Allen. Could have gone either way. Here at wide receiver, got Olave, Chris Godwin, Cooper Kupp. These were the sort of high-end guys on the chalkboard. Tyler Lockett's in there. Christian Kirk is right up there. So we're glad we avoided Christian Kirk in this one. But in my lineup, so I went with Tom Brady. Then we went with the chalkiest, Fournette, Kamara, of course. So the highest owned running backs. Then we got Godwin, Olave, Curtis Samuel in there, and Tyler Lockett. Now, where it got a little weird was the most obvious defense play was Cowboys by far, and I never pay up on defense. And that's my prime regret. Just, this going with this defense and taking the -2, and it's just because what was spit out. Like Dom Station wants to spend all the salary more often than not. Taking the -2 cost me pretty much what would have been a pretty clean sweep of all these cash games, because you'd add about another, I think they scored 15 or 16, the -2, so you'd add about 18 points. So I'd be hanging out at 184, 183, and that would have swept everything. So got a little bit of regrets about the defense that I chose here. But, again, the chalkboard was pointing me to Dallas. I just didn't listen. And, for me, it's a lesson. It's a lesson. Hey, never pay up on defense in a cash game. And, of course, don't, you got to believe the chalkboard. It does tell true tales. So that's cash for NFL Week 5. I'm going to call it a break even. I just about broke even. I hit about 50-50 in my cash games, which is really, that's why I say to play head-to-heads, guys. It's really, really important that you're focusing head-to-head, because I had a score this week slightly below the mean score, and I still essentially broke even in my cash entries. And that's why cash games are kind of like this. That's why you want to do head-to-heads, because in a double up or a 50-50, if I'm even half a point below the mean, I lose 100% of my entry fees. But here, because I spread it out amongst a bunch of different head-to-heads, I'm not losing my entry fees automatically. I remember also I'm hanging out in the shark zone, $5 and up in cash games. And a lot of you guys who are watching this can enter $1 and $3 contests where they're even softer in terms of your opponent's skill sets. So you should be doing these head-to-heads and just use the chalkboard or use the optimizer, right? So let me show, I've got, and I want to show this is just raw optimizer. We're in backtest mode, looking at the main slate for NFL Week 5. I'm going to give a little reset settings to make sure that, we're not, pre-gaming these projections or anything like that. Who would do that and why? You have access to this. And by the way, if you want access to these tools, of course, and you're not signed up at DFS Army, you probably should go get signed up at DFS Army and get access to these tools if you're not. If you are and you're watching this, awesome. Make sure that you're using the tools and you're utilizing them and you're back testing every single week. And of course, if you're enjoying this video, make sure you like and subscribe to the video. Not like, I don't care. You know what? Just subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you get the videos. That's all we ask. Or don't. I don't care. Either way, taking a look at the DFS Army Domination Station Optimizer, we're going to just click the old generate lineups, right? And the first one generated here is this top optimal, which scored 177.74. And again, weirdly, spending up on defense. Like the optimizer liked paying down for some of these players and just spent up on defense, which I find weird. Here's the second one, which is pretty much the lineup I put in this week. And that put up the 165. I think that's the same lineup pretty much. Yeah, looks about the same. And this one got the 177. So the top optimal definitely was the best for cash games this week. But what I would have done, see, I don't understand why I wasn't getting Dolphins. So I just want to see what happens. Not Dolphins. See, it's weird because we have Cowboys by far as the best points per dollar value. See what happened? Even though they're the best points per dollar, the optimizer could not find any place to spend the extra 700. So it just took the 0.5 points. But if we do that, actually, if we go like this and just make sure it uses Cowboys. Yeah, I mean, look, oh my God. The top optimal goes to 206 just by forcing in Cowboys. That's crazy. What the hell? What changed? Looks like the same lineup. Final score 206. So, I mean, pretty easy to smash this week. A lot of the chalk hit. Oh, wow. Yeah, it just went down to David Njoku. Where did it upgrade? Oh, upgraded to Josh Allen at quarterback. And that made all the difference. So there we go. All right. Let's take a look at the Milly Maker and what took down a tournament this week. That's always exciting. So we're going to go again to recent. And this is my best handcraft in the Milly Maker. I only put one in. This is my best handcraft. It finished 286. This is my only entry. And here, again, pretty similar to the lineups that you saw, but this is the only one I put in for myself. And man, Christian Kirk really cost me. So imagine I just would have swapped in somebody who didn't get a 2, maybe like a 25. That takes you from 215, 230, 240. Man, we could have been in this top group so easily. Just one little swap. I'm sick over it. Sick over it. But let's take a look at Chevy Chelios, who dominated the leaderboard. Basically the same lineup I put in. You just left money on the table? Yeah. No. Davis, Fournette, Kamara. I mean, this is pretty common, pretty basic. That won the Milly Maker. I cannot believe this won the Milly Maker. Cannot believe this would have handcrafted this. I have a feeling the domination station will spit this out if I just make 20 lineups. But let's see. So the top optimal that won the million was a 244.26. And what we like to do on the show is go to the domination station backtest mode and see if we could have easily generated this lineup. So I'm going to try something very simple. Because this looks like a really easy lineup to create. Okay. And the only thing we're going to do, we loved Gabriel Davis this week. I can actually, I'm going to pull up my cheat sheet, but Gabriel Davis made the sheet, of course, and he was in all formats play. I liked him better on FanDuel where he was cheaper. But, a lot of these players are all spelled out on my cheat sheet. So, but more importantly, I honestly think it's going to be pretty damn easy to generate this lineup just by like running the optimizer and doing nothing. So I think the one player that we're going to have to force in is Gabriel Davis, because the rest of them basically were popping like crazy anyway. So let's see what happens here. We just ran sort by final fantasy points. Yeah, a 222 on the first run. Are we getting Gabriel Davis at all? No. So how do we get the top optimal? I'm telling you right now how it's going to happen. I'm pretty confident. Yeah, we got to get a little more Josh Allen in there. The reason he's not showing up is because Davis got such a bad projection relative to what he ended up doing that he never showed up in lineups. But I actually did this. So my settings, when I ran the optimizer, I did exactly this. I loaded up on Gabriel Davis. I had him up here at a very high points per dollar value. And I have a feeling this is going to make all the difference in the world. Let's give this a little run. Again, this is raw with no significant adjustment. We haven't even limited exposures at any position. It's just like a raw run of the optimizer. You can only do this in backtest mode. You don't have to change anything really. So let me see if I'm getting any Gabriel Davis. All right, so in this run, I got some Gabriel Davis, and our highest score in this version is a 239.86. There's a 230. So we hit 239, which was good for, yeah, we hit this lineup right here. First run, literally just a raw run of the optimizer with Gabriel Davis raised up. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? I'm sorry, but are you fucking kidding me? Third place, fourth place, second place was hanging out right here. I actually think one of our guys was in this top group as well. But I mean, come on. I think yeah, that might be Nolan right there. So that might be one of our guys right there. But I mean, the 288 first run. So if you use the domination statement optimizer this weekend, and literally all you did was give a little boost to Gabriel Davis and run it with QB stack, you hit this lineup. Now I'm going to try a few more. I want to take a look at some of the results here to see if there was anything I really needed to do to get a little bit closer. I think the only thing I can really think of, I mean, it's, again, let's go back to it here. Did we get any Breece Hall? Yeah, we've gotten a lot of Breece Hall. We're getting Fournette. We're getting all the guys we wanted. The mix looks pretty good. All right, so the only thing I'm going to do here is, I guess, maybe limit Olave to 30%. Maybe limit all the wide receivers to 30%. Let's see what happens if we do that, if that helps. So what I'm trying to do is just, whenever I back test, I try to see like what settings could have helped. I usually like to run, 3 uniques actually. So let's try a little bit of that. Get our uniques going. Also get our ownership caps in place. Although I don't think this week that ownership caps were a great idea. As a matter of fact, what is the ownership of this high lineup? 121. Yeah, this was not a great week to have extreme ownership caps in place. So that's actually one thing that's interesting. Yeah, big ownership caps didn't help because it was a very chalky week for taking down the Milly Maker. But again, I'll give it one more run. But again, our first run hit third or fourth place. I'm considering that a win already. I think we can actually easily surpass the Milly Maker winner if we did a little bit of cheating and manipulating here. But whatever. It was right there. The projections were spot on this week. Let's see. I didn't even give it the full run. I just kind of wanted to see what happens. Yeah, 235. So yeah, 235 on that run. Yeah, fine by me. Actually gets worse when we run it with 3 uniques because we're so close on. But anyway, first run of the optimizer. Little boost on Gabriel Davis. boom, we're taking down Milly Makers. So my takeaways are twofold. Number one, in cash games, continue to trust the ownership projection model as a great guideway to path. Remember that in cash games, ownership is your friend. You can have a player bust. Your opponent probably uses them too. If it's, everybody's using Devontae Adams week and Adams busts, it doesn't matter. Your opponent has them too. So just play smart, high floor cash game lineups and make sure you're entering those head-to-heads each week. And don't get cute with the defense. Don't pay up for defense in cash games. And then the other lesson is with the optimizer, if you're running Milly Maker, if you're attacking those type of tournaments, just trust the process. The same process that we vetted out the entire offseason continues to work. In our backtest mode, we saw this working. And I mean, here it is, another 239.86. So, I mean, it's right up there. 234, 239. This is one run with no adjustment, 239.86. Again, third place, it's hanging out right there. How do you get to first? Not a big deal. A couple little twists here or there make all the difference in the world. But, if we're in this top 10, we nailed it. It's going to be little variance, but the last few weeks in a row, we've seen multiple weeks this season where one little tweak or almost no tweaks gets us in the top 10 of the Milly Maker. That's crazy. That is not the expectation most weeks. So let's not expect that to keep happening, but trust the process. And if we do it over and over again, and we continue attacking these tournaments the same way, just be methodical about your entries, about your simplicity, about trusting in the projection models, trusting in the settings that we've vetted in our off-season backtest stream, program where we all got together, did backtesting of the 2021 season, got a sense of all of the settings that work and that are the best and most likely to lead us to tournament wins. And again, note that this is a return to no need for a bring back player. And again, so we've seen this season a lot of back and forth between, hey, do I need to build a massively correlated lineup approach, or can I just kind of do my thing? And you'll see with this one, there's not really much correlation other than just attacking the games that look good. Sure, there are 3 players here. It's amazing that Godwin, who didn't even have a good game, is in this thing. But 3 players here from the Bucks, fine. But no Tom Brady. Josh Allen to Godwin, just a 2-man stack, 1-person stack for Josh Allen, fine. And then just pieces from other games that looked exciting and obvious. So you don't always have to go too crazy. I really would like to beat this lineup, but how would we get there? Let me see. Oh yeah, Mike Williams was the guy that I loved. So that was another guy. I'm gonna smash a love and adore on Mike Williams because he was actually one of my favorite plays on this entire slate this weekend. I went very heavy on Williams, and I think that Mike Williams, he's in my lineup in this thing. So when you look at what I did, so I think I could have easily crushed it because I went Williams, Davis, Shakir, and then just like I said, in this spot, if I just switched it up, I think I surpass it. So let's see what happens if I run it with Mike Williams, who again, I just handcrafted into my version of this lineup anyway. So let's see if I run it like that, what will happen? 244.26, baby. Did we win? 244.26. Show all. Yeah, we hit the same one. So there we go. We nailed it. Weirdly, for some reason, liking Mike, I have no idea why that would happen, but why liking Mike Williams put us on this actual lineup. Great. Let me hit the nuts. I'm going to do one more run. I'm so curious. I want to do a run with one unique because what the hell? Let's see what happens. One last run. Sorry, if I had the magic of editing, I would just edit out these weights in between as we run the optimizer. But I think it's really important that you guys are seeing that. I'm just doing this live in person. I don't even test these beforehand because I want in these reviews, to see the process of kind of doing a little bit of back testing, but also to see that there's no magic, there's no little secret trick going on that you're not aware of. Yeah, now it went back down to 239. So again, something I thought was true is proving to be true. 3 uniques got us a higher score than 1. I'm going to go to 4 uniques here and just want to kind of see again what happens. I always like to back test different approaches, but what we learned in the offseason, QB plus 1 is all you need. 3 uniques and keep the ownership, total team ownership, probably on 120% or lower. And that's most of it. That's most of it. So I'm going to give this one last run just to see what happens. And, let's see if we can beat it. But we hit the Milly Maker winner. Our second run gave us 4th place in the Milly Maker just without doing almost anything. Let's see what we got here. Nope, this one got worse. So 4 uniques, no good. And again, that agrees with what we discovered in the offseason, that 3 uniques was the sort of best approach or the most successful approach for what we tried. Anyway, that's going to do it for NFL Week 5 Week in Review. For DFS Army VIP subscribers, we'll be back with the Monday Night Showdown breakdown, of course. And make sure to check in for the DraftKings and FanDuel First Look lineups, which will be out today as well. Congratulations to all the big winners from this past weekend. We got a lot of winning to do. Got a lot more NFL to do. Like and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys next time. Good luck, everyone. Deuces.